start, right? First of all, understand the rules of the S.B.I, right? So now people still have, I don't know if some people still have issues, right? But I try my best to make it as simple as possible, right? If you can just understand this concept, right? It's going to be very easy to trade, right? Like I said, I trade the same thing every single day. I don't change anything, right? It's just the same SBI. Even though you check my chart online, it's the SBI, the sweep, break, inducements, right? That's what I trade every single day. It does not change, right? And if you can master when and where to enter and when and where to exit, right? It's going to be very easy for you to trade and spot trades in the market, right? Now, obviously, we all know our scenario one and our scenario two, right? This is just the basic SBI, right? If you spot it on the chart, your scenario one, obviously, you have a sweep, right? A sweep of a high, a break of a market structure. Then you have what? A pullback into the range, right? Then this, right? Now, remember to validate your scenario one. You always have to validate your scenario one, right? Always have to validate your scenario one. You take your fib level from this high to this low, right? You can say that this our structural liquidity is above this high, right? Which means it's valid. Okay. This is what I said before you take a trade, you have to have your confluences aligned, right? You don't just go and jump into any random thing. You have to make sure that your confluence is aligned, right? Now, you see this is your scenario one. You need to ask yourself, okay, now am I taking A plus or B plus setup, right? These are also your confluences. Now, why is that a confluence? Because first of all, A plus, you're basically trading with the bias, right? You're trading with basically your higher time frame SBI. I don't know if you guys understand from the previous sessions. You know what trading with bias means, right? So now, how do your confluences align? First of all, you check with your Fibonacci level. Second of all, is this A plus or a B plus setup? Now, what do I mean by this now? A plus setup is basically a setup that is taking its HTF bias, right? Which means that you've established your higher time frame um analysis and you are trading in the direction. Also, B plus, you are trading with the trend. That's also serves as well another confluence, right? You are trading with the trend. You can't tell me that market is buying. Let's say market is going up, for instance. Then someone here is now looking for a sell SBI. It does not make sense. Okay, it makes no sense at all, right? So anything, let's say I analyze and I'm not able to find a higher time frame trade, right? In this market, as you can see right now. Anything I'm going to take right now is what you call a B plus buy setup. Okay, so now you have to just keep these rules very simple. And you know how we take B plus? B plus are basically with confirmations, right? Meaning that if market comes into your POI, you look for some kind of confluence like a bullish engulfing or market confirmations before you enter, right? Now, this is our scenario one, right? Our scenario two is what? Market creates what? The structural liquidity, what? Before the break of structure. Okay, you can see that this is our BOS here, right? So market creates this before the break of structure, right? And now you take your Fibonacci level, right? Remember, for the scenario one, you take your Fibonacci level from the high to the low that created the structural liquidity, which means that you're taking your Fibonacci what from here to here. This is for your scenario one, right? But for your scenario two, you're going to take your Fibonacci from what the high towards the break of structure, which means that your Fibonacci level is going to be here. Okay, and then you can see that what this structural liquidity is still above the 50%, which makes this guy valid. Then now you need to ask yourself now, is it A plus or B plus setup, right? You need to ask yourself those questions because you can't spot a sell SBI here and you want to trade that. It doesn't make sense. Why doesn't it make sense? Because what? First of all, it's not a B plus, it's not following the trend because right now the trend is what? Is bullish. Okay, the trend right now is bullish, right? So you can't be taking a sell setup. So anything you want to take right now could be a buy plus because of what? Trend. Okay, it has to make sense, right? You can't just enter the market and trade. And if it was possible to just trade any random SBIs, everyone will be millionaires by now. Okay, everyone will be millionaires by now. Now, I want you guys to take into the fact that if you understand how and where to execute trades, you will not have any issue when you want to trade, right? You have to just keep it simple. I like to keep my setups clean and simple. If it doesn't make sense to me, I won't take the trade, right? I don't mind if I lose out with that set. I don't mind. It has to make sense to me. My confluence has to be there, okay? My confluence has to be aligned, right? My trade setups has to be aligned, which means my Fibonacci, is it a B plus? Is it an A plus? Everything has to make sense, okay? Now, what you see right now, I think I analyzed this guy in the last session, right? Analyze this guy in the previous session on V10S, right? I remember I said that I was anticipating what V10S to what dropped down, like massive sales. Okay, massive sales, right? Why do I have this massive sale? What do we have here? I have a sweep of this high. We have what? A break of structure. And what do you see here? There's a scenario. Is there not anyone? What scenario is this, guys? What scenario is this? Scenario one or scenario two? If you guys are following, this is scenario one or a scenario two?
Scenario 2.
Yes, scenario two. Why? Because this is the structural liquidity what created what before the break of structure, right? Boom, boom, right? It was created what before market broke structure here, right? Now you can validate the structural liquidity. You can see that what is above the 50%. Okay, making this what a valid structural liquidity. And what do you see that is happening right now? Market came all the way, took out this structural liquidity, and is already selling now. Remember that the market moves from what? The internal range liquidity to what? The external range liquidity. And this is on the daily time frame, meaning that on the lower time frame, you want to trade basically in the direction. This is where you have A plus setup, right? Any sell setup you see in this place, please risk whatever you can risk on this setup, right? Don't risk your house rent. No one says you should risk your house rent or risk whatever. Risk what you can risk, right? Because you have backing, right? This is A plus setup. This is a setup that have high probability of holding. Okay. Now, if you remember before, I think in previous session, we analyzed this guy. The market was selling from here, right? This was was back in time, right? There's a sweep of this high break of structure. Then this was our setups that were happening in this range, right? But still, I still knew that market was still going to come back here, right? So market is already here and it's selling, right? So obviously, we expect the market to sell all the way to this low, right? All the way to this low right here. Meaning that on the lower time frame, you want to trade what? Setups, right? Which is basically your type 1 and type 2. Okay. In addition with your confluence, right? Which is your 50% Fibonacci, your SBI, which is your sweep, your break, and inducements, right? In this range. Okay, in this range. Meaning that even if I go down to my 15 minutes, or it can be your 30 minutes, it can be your 15 minutes, it can be your 5 minutes. If you are able to spot a setup, then you have what A plus sell setup, right? That's basically how it works, right? If you're able to spot it, you can see that since market tapped this guy, right? You can see that market was buying before, right? But you can see the switch from this point, it took out the structural liquidity, boom, it's going down. Okay, so now people that take losses, they take losses because of what? They don't understand what is happening, right? They will see an SBI here, boom, they are taking the setup for a buy. Before I know you stop loss it. Okay, now let's see if you can spot a setup. Now remember what I said, if you don't see a setup, you just leave the setup, right? Don't force a setup, right? Don't force a trade, right? That's one of the rules which you have to always follow. Do not force any trade. Okay. Now, what do you see right here on the 30 minutes time frame? Market was swept out this high, right? Broke structure. Then you can see that what you have, what you call a type 2. This is a type 2 setup right here. Right? This is a type 2 setup. Obviously, you know that manipulation obviously come in place, right? So this is why your stop loss has to always be, you just have to give it space, right? Manipulation, obviously, your POI will be here, but your stop loss has to be somewhere around here, right? But this is just manipulation, right? And you can see the market was moved to this guy, move to this range. Now, still having that in mind, there's also something that is called ranges, right? Once you're able to establish a range, you can always have a setup in another setup. Now, for instance, someone missed out, let's say someone missed out on this 30 minutes sell setup, right? This is an A plus sell. You can see the market has smashed the external liquidity, right? Let's say that someone missed out on this initial entry right here. The person can still go on the lower time frame, which is your 5 minutes time frame, right? Then you can still wait in this range. If you are still able to spot a setup, then you can hop onto the setup in this range. Now, I don't think we're able to spot a setup here because I was watching this guy this week, V10S closely. I was watching it closely, right? So what do I want to see, right? I want to see a sweep, break, and inducement, right? Now, price swept this high, broke structure, pull back to give us our type 1, but it never came back here, right? But I was still watching to see what will happen in this range, right? I was still watching this guy this week, right? So what do you see right there is happening right now? You can see that if you go down to your 10 minutes time frame, you see that there's a sell playing out here, right? There's a sweep of this high. This is a sell A plus setup, right? And I think I saw this guy last night. I saw this guy last night. I don't know if I executed it. I don't know if I set a limit on this trade, but you can see what's happening right now. This is also a A plus sell setup, right? This is what I have. This is sweep. This is protected high, right? The sweep of this high, break of market structure. Then what do we have? This is structural liquidity. What before the break of market structure? Boom. The markets has taken out this high. That's taken out the structural liquidity and is already selling. Now I'm expecting market to come here, right? So if anyone missed out on the initial entry, let's check the 5 minutes time frame to see if there's still another entry again. Let's check. So basically, it's basically establishing ranges, knowing when and when to enter the market, right? In alignment with the bias or with trend. Okay. So now on this guy, if I see something else again, if I see markets, let's say come sweep out a high, give me a break of structure, and I see something like this. Let's say if I see something like this now, let's say market goes something like this, goes here, sweeps this guy, breaks, give me something like this, boom. This kind of setup, you just can't miss this kind of setup, right? Like I said, when I'm free, I'm always analyzing the market to make sure that I'm in the best situation possible. Okay, to make sure I'm the best. I don't just enter and I just make sure that I analyze the market thoroughly, right? Some people might just come to this chat and just do this. No, right? I make sure that I come to the chat, analyze the market thoroughly, right? Because now obviously I know that this market is going to sell right now from our analysis. So if I see something like this right now, I'm still going to hop into this trade, right? Because we know that this guy is going to sell, right? So we have to make sure we take the best possible trades on sell returns, right? On sell returns in this setup. We have to take the best possible trades in this guy. So we have to maximize the trades we take here. We can't just let all this move run out, right? Because there's going to be a lot of sales, a lot of sales. So you have to be ready and prepared to trade these markets. Okay. Now, when you enter a trade, right? Now, let me see if there's still other. So now you can see the market is just selling, right? They are all sales. Anyone that's taking a buy here, I'm sorry, you're going to hit stop loss. You're going to just hit stop loss. Why? Because we have the backing of our buyers and our analysis as well, right? So now let's check out what's happening. Now let's go to V10. Let's go to V10 and see what's happening. So like I said, today watch out for sell setups on V10S, right? V10S, any sell setup you see, I'm ready for it, okay? Because we are having what you basically call A plus sales, right? So this is why I said always analyze your market thoroughly, right? You can't just come into the chart and just draw this, draw that, and no, please take your time and analyze the chart. Take your time, even if it's B plus, even if it's A plus, take your time, analyze the market so that you'll be in the best situation possible when you are trading. Okay, you have to be in the best situation possible when you are trading, right? Because this trading game, you have to be elite, right? You have to get to the level where you are confident in your setup. Okay. You have to just reach that level where you are very confident in your setup. Okay, I can risk a certain amount of money because I know that some people still have fear, right? Why do you have fear? Because you are not sure about what you are trading. If you actually understand why you're trading, this is why I said I said it. I can't remember when I said it last week or last week. I don't remember. I said skill over capital. With the right skill, you can basically take $10 to $500. You can take $50 to 1,000. You have to just get your entry right. Make sure that your analysis on point. This is why I said the skill, right? The skill is gold. Once you can get the skill right, you can basically do anything with the skill, right? So now this is V10. Now let's check the daily time frame and see what's happening on V10. Let's see what's happening on V10. Now from bird's eye view, we can see that obviously that V10 is bullish right now. You can see that V10 is bullish right now, right? You can see it's bullish. Let's check. Now, sorry. Now, now let's check what's happening on V10S. Oh, sorry, on V10 index, right? So when I get into the charts, I want to make sure that let's see what's happening, right? So I can't really see anything right here on the daily. It's not that clear. Let's check the 4 hour time frame. Let's check the 4 hour time frame to understand. So first of all, you have to look back in price to see if price is giving you any changing points, right? So from here, I can't really see anything clear, right? So now let's fix our attention to this point. What is happening right now, right? So now, first of all, you know that this guy is bullish, okay? You know that price is bullish, right? So now, which means that anything we look for right now, let's see if we can establish something here, okay? We can't really see anything. Let's check the 1 hour time frame. So it has to make sense. So now this is the 1 hour 1 hour time frame. This is the 1 hour time frame. So price is bullish, okay? Price is bullish, right? Price is bullish. This can be something that can happen. Right? Let's see. This can be something that can happen. This is the 1 hour time frame, okay? Then I can see something like a sweep break. Now, what will happen right now is if price comes back to take out this structural liquidity, right? So now let's validate. This is the 1 hour time frame. Let's validate the structural liquidity first of all. Let's validate the structural liquidity. Remember, for the type 1 is from the low to your high that created all the structural liquidity, right? So now, let's see what's going to happen, right? So now, price comes back to this guy right here, okay? So now this is why I said, please try your best and backtest to see how ranges work, right? If you can understand ranges, then it's going to be very good for you. Now, price comes back to take out this low. Now, if price, does whatever it comes and comes back to take out this high, sorry, to take out this low and starts buying, right? You obviously know that price is going to go out, come and take out this high, right? Meaning that on the lower time frame, on your 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever, you want to take trades basically till it sweeps out the external range liquidity, right? Which is your D, right? So now I'm not going to take any trade right now because I'm anticipating that our price will come back and sweep out the structural liquidity because price always comes back for liquidity. Okay. If price doesn't come back now, it always still comes back to sweep out structural liquidity. Okay. But price is bullish, right? So anything you are taking right now, it should be a B plus setup, right? B plus setups, B plus setup, right? B plus. You can't be taking a sell in this kind of market. Okay. You can't be taking a sell in this kind of market. Right? So that let's say now I see something like a sweep of because sometimes I take B plus. I've told you guys many times I take B plus. Let's say price does something like this right now, sweeps out this low, right? Break structure, gives me something like this, right? Right? Then I'll be looking at taking what a B plus, right? Meaning that if price still comes out, take out this guy structural liquidity here, right? If price comes out, take out the structural liquidity, I'll be looking for my confirmation, which can be a bullish engulfing or two strong candles, right? If you see weak rejections, I won't take that because that's looking like kind of my manipulation. Okay. So now it's a B plus buy, in alignment with the trend, right? B plus. So meaning that if price does something like this, I'm going to wait for price to come to my POI, then look for some kind of confirmation that price wants to buy, then I jump into this trade, right? Okay. So now let me check. Someone sends a question here. Let me check the question someone sent. Hello, bros. I have an observation of VTM. Please permit, correct me if I'm wrong. No sell SBI on the daily time frame. Yes, there's no sell SBI on VTM on the daily time frame. Yes, there's no sell SBI. Okay. Now let's check V25S. There's no sell SBI right now. All we are seeing right now is just is bullish market, right? It's a bullish market on V25S. Okay, V25S is a bullish market, right? So I'm looking for B plus, B plus, B plus. Okay, so now do I have a sweep of this low? No, I don't have a sweep of this low, right? Because if I had a sweep of this low right here, wait, the price sweep of this, I think price sweep this low. The price sweep, okay. You can
Check
see what's
the
happening
8
right
hours.
now. Yeah, price swept out this low on the daily time frame, and now price has come back for this guy here, right? So you can see what's happening right now. So now we're expecting price to buy to the upside. Can you see what's happening? This is happening live, okay? So I'm expecting price to go to because there's a sweep of this low, break of market structure, and price has taken out towards this type 2 here, okay? Don't know if you guys can see it clearly, but I'll move on to the 8 hour time frame so you guys can see it clearly. Watch the 8 hour time frame, right? So price swept out this, okay, and price already buying, right? So now let's check the 1 hour. Let's see what's happening. Yeah, okay, price is already buying already. Price is buying. Let's check 15 minutes. Okay, I think I can see a setup here. I think I can see a setup, right? I can see a setup here. So this is a setup for you. Price set out this low, price broke structure. Okay, so this is 15-minute time frame. 15 minutes time frame. So if price comes back here, boom, I'm looking out for you. A plus buy setup here. A plus buy setup here. Okay, yeah. So you guys should watch out on V25S. V25S. This is a buy. This is a plus setup for me. It's a plus setup for me, right? Meaning that if price comes here, boom, I'm looking to buy up back to this guy here. Okay, buy up pray, right? So I'm going to be watching this guy. This is V25S for those that ask. This is V25S. So I'm going to be watching this guy. There's a sweep of this low, break of market structure. Let's validate structural liquidity. Let's validate structural liquidity, right? Valid, right? So yeah, price is going to come here. My POI is basically the other block here. My POI is the other block here. I can't take a QMR because the QMR is above this. So I'm using this other block, right? So now, if something like this happens again, if price comes into this low, if you miss out the initial entry, so you should not be, if you miss out the initial entry here, you can still go down on the 5 minutes time frame. After price comes to stake out this guy, then price is going to create another entry for you. Then you can take and trade on the 5 minutes, right? But right now, I'm anticipating this to happen. So you guys should watch out on V25S. Okay, V25S. Anticipate a buy from this level here. Okay. Now, why do I have that, right? Why do I have that, right? It's very simple. I was able to spot something here. So look, price swept out this low. If you guys can see clearly, let me check. The price swept out this low. Yes, price swept this low. Yes, price swept out this low, right? Price swept out that low. It then went towards break structure to the upside, right? And you can see what's happening right now. Price has taken out the what type. Let me clear this thing out. So price has taken out what this type 2 here and already buying, right? So now on the 15 minutes time frame, what was I able to spot, right? 15 minutes. I was able to spot this on the 15 minutes, right? So look at this, right? This is a trade for you, right? The sweep of this low, broke structure, gave us a clean type 1 setup, okay? So now if you just see me on the, if you see me, let's say for instance, now taking trade on the 5 minutes now, why? Because I've missed an entry here, here. So now I'm still waiting for price to create what another entry. So if I see another entry here in this range, right? From this whole range to this range, so it's all about establishing range, right? From this range again, I will look for a take to take another trade immediately, right? It doesn't matter if it's here or here, whatever. But if it's an A plus setup, I'll be looking to take that trade, right? So this is what I'm seeing right now on V25S. Okay, V25S. What I mean is that there's a sell on the daily time frame. I don't know if you observed. Please, sorry, please. Who sent this? I think it's Ishak. Sell on the which daily time frame for where? Is it V10 or what?
Yes, V10. V10.
V10. Okay,
Yes,
I'll
sir.
check it out. I'll check it out right now. Okay, I'll check it out, please. Okay, so now this is what I'm seeing right now on V25S. I'm watching this guy on V25S. So let's go back to V10. So I'm going to do a thorough analysis, but let's check, right? So this is how I analyze. This is how I analyze the chart, right? This is how I analyze the chart. So you said that there's a sell on the daily time frame, but I didn't really see a sell here. I didn't really see a sell. Sell from where? Ishak,
Yeah, I can hear you, sir.
where did you see the sell from? Which sell?
There is a sweep around here.
Which sweep here? Sweep here. I can't see a sweep here. I can't see any sweep here. I can't see a sweep. There's no sweep here. Are you talking about this here? This structure here? I can't see any sweep
On the
here.
left.
I can't see any sweep. That's not a valid sweep for me. That's not a sweep for me. Right? There's nothing right now that's happening. There's no sell, there's no sweep right here. We can't just say this is sweep, right? This is just structure right here. This is not a valid sweep, right? What do I mean by a valid sweep? I mean this is a valid sweep, right? You should know how to analyze this, right? This is a sweep, right? Let's say price is, let's say here, for instance, it's a price, something like this, like this. It should just be very valid, very clear, right? So this is a sweep for you. No, sorry, please. This is a valid clean sweep for you, okay? Now, you can't say now you have structure like this now. Let's say you have something like structure. Let's say you have something like structure, and price has gone all the way, right? Then price come back here, then you just say this is a sweep. No. Because, okay, if this is a sweep, then why is this not a sweep as well? Why is here not a sweep? Why is here not a sweep, right? I don't know if you get my judgment, right? So that's not a valid sweep for me, okay? That's not a valid sweep for me. Now, so on V25S, I've analyzing right now, we can see that price is going to go up, right? And now on the 15 minutes time frame, we're able to spot this, right? So please pay attention to this guy here. Okay, pay attention here. Pay attention to this POI here. Okay, pay attention to this POI once it comes back, right? So now V25. V25S. V25S. Let's go to the daily time frame. Right. Let's go to the daily time frame. Let's go to daily. Okay. Right. So V25S obviously is very bullish. Okay, it's very bullish. So if I'm not able to take any trade on for a bias, I'll be looking for P plus buy. Right. P plus. Let's show the 4 hour time frame. It's very bullish right now. It's very bullish. 1 hour. Let's show the 1 hour. It's so yeah, this guy is very bullish. Okay, so anything you are taking right now is P plus. Okay, okay, okay. So I sort out this structure. Okay, structure. So now press sort out this low right here. Right. So there's a sweep and there's a structure here. This is on the 30 minutes time frame. Okay. Please, who's annotating, please? Right, okay, this is a sweep, this is a breakout structure as well. Okay. So this is just identifying structure, okay? Identify structure and see what's going to happen, right? So now, I won't just take any random trade. I'll wait for price to what? Sweep out this low first. Once price sweeps out this low, right, and starts buying, then I'm looking for a re-entry on this low right here, right? You should not be taking a sell. You can't take a sell setup on this trade, right? Because of what? Price is very bullish, okay? So now price takes out the structural liquidity on the 30 minutes time frame. Now I'll go down to my 5 minutes to be looking for what? Buy continuation entries, okay? Buy entries, right? Buy. So now price is currently selling. Okay, price is currently selling, but I'm not interested in the sales, right? I'm waiting for price to what? Take out this structural liquidity low, right? I'm waiting for price to take out this low. Price should take out this low. Once price takes out this low, then I'm going to the upside. Okay. 25 V50. V50S. V50S. Let's check what's happening. It's clear drawings. Okay. 4 hour time frame. Let's check the 1 hour. This is not that clear to me. Okay. Okay, I can see something. As a sweep of this low right here, break of market structure, price has swept out structural liquidity here. Okay. Price has swept out the structural liquidity. Let's show the 5 minutes time frame. Let me check something. You can see that what there's a setup here, but I think we have missed out on this setup already, right? Price swept out this low, sweep of the low right here, break of market structure and the structural liquidity. Okay, price has taken out the structural liquidity for uh A plus buy entry. Okay, A plus buy entry. Okay, so you can see how quickly I was able to spot this trade. It's basically by establishing ranges, right? So now one thing that is very important in this trading space, right, is basically understanding of how to establish range, right? If you can establish a range, then you'll be able to trade, right? So now from here, I was able to spot this right now, the 1 hour time frame. Okay, I was able to spot what? A structural liquidity here. The sweep of this low, break of market structure, the market to give me this. Now, if market creates a buy SBI for you, that's basically a confirmation that price is going to buy or price is going to respect that bias. Because if price is not going to respect that bias, price is not going to create what? A buy structure after sweeping out the structural liquidity, right? So price has given us what? A buy structure, which means that this is our first entry. Okay, now price has swept out this low again, right? Now, once we have a break of structure again, right? Once price breaks this structure right now, okay? Once price does something like this, right? Break structure, okay? What am I going to anticipate again? For price to do what again? Come out here again, sweep out this low. Boom. So this is another entry again. Okay? Like that. Okay? So that's how you have to let your trades be, okay? You don't just rush into a setup. It has to tell a story, okay? Even if it's a B plus or A plus setups, okay? It has to tell a story, okay? So now for V50S, V25S, I'm already having something today for me to trade, okay? So please, how do you identify a sweep, okay? A sweep is basically a sweep of a high or a low, right? Let's say you have a low, right? This, right? This is a sweep, right? Price sweep out this low, right? Break structure. Okay. Now, you only have a sweep of a low if you can identify a break of structure. Okay. Now, what do I mean by that? You have a sweep right here. right? Why is this a sweep, right? Because of what? Price swept this low and created what? Another break of structure. Let's say you have something like this now, right? This is not just a sweep, right? This is just a break of structure, price breaking structure, right? If price continued going in that direction, right? Let's say price continues going in this direction right now. Okay, I don't know if you guys are following. Do something like this again. Boom. This is another break of structure, right? But you can only have a sweep if price sweeps out a low or a high and then creates what? A break of structure, right? So now look at right now. Let's check what's happening right now. Is this, let me check for the sweep, right? This is a sweep, right? Why is this a sweep, right? Because of what there's a sweep port and there's a break of the low, right? There's a break of this is a sweep and a break, right? Now this is a sweep and this is a break. So this is a value sweep, okay? Value sweep, break of structure. Then that's how you identify it, right? You can say that, oh, this is a sweep, right? Because price broke this structure high here, okay? Now this is going to be a sweep if price breaks out what? This structure high, okay? If price breaks out, so now if price breaks out this structure high, I'm going to wait for price to come down here. Okay, why? Because I have a range on the 1 hour time frame. It's just basically establishing ranges, right? It can be establishing a range on the 15 minutes. It can be establishing a range on the 1 hour time frame. It can be establishing a range like you all know that's happening on V10S on the daily time frame. Okay, so it's basically what establishing ranges, right? Establishing ranges. Okay, establishing ranges basically, right? So now let's check. Let's just do a tutorial analysis because we
Please,
don't have
please
much
go
time
back
here.
to please,
Okay,
please go to the 4 hour time frame on this 50s.
P50s.
4 hour time frame. Is that not an SBI above there?
Yes. Okay, this is a sweep. Let me check. Let me check. I didn't even see this right. This is a sweep of this low. Okay, this is a sweep of this low.
No,
Right. Break.
it's sell SBI
Sell S.B.I
up there, up.
up here. Let
Yes.
me please annotate on the screen. Let me see what you're talking about.
Okay. Yeah, 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 yeah.
You can't call that a sell SBI because it has not been validated already. Nothing has happened. You're just drawing it out. There's nothing happened here, right? Now, price is bullish right now, and I'm able to spot this, right? You can't just say you just mark here and just anticipate that price is going to respect this, right? Now, price is very bullish, right? And what we see that's happening right now, price is buying, okay? Then from this bird's eye view, we can see that price swept this low, broke structure, gave us something like this now. This is on the 4 hour time frame. Now, basically, from the 4 hour time frame, right? Price still give us another entry again, right? It's just basically establishing ranges, right? So now from the 4 hour time frame, on the 1 hour time frame, what do you see again? Price gave you another word, sweep, break or structure, type 1, right? Boom. It's a 1 hour time frame. Then still inside that 1 hour range, right? Still inside. Now, if anybody's on this buy on the 1 hour, they've taken it, right? Still inside this 1 hour range on the 5 minutes time frame. What do you see that's happening right now? Boom. This is what's happening, right? Sweep break structure, right? Price is currently buying right now. I'm anticipating what price to sweep this low, break structure again, and give me another entry, right? So if something like this happens, yes, you can't just come and just say this is a sweep and anticipate this is going to hold. Okay, it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that at all. Okay, it doesn't work like that. You can't just draw this, and say, okay, this is a sell SBI. No, right? Obviously, price was is bearish. It's bullish, right? Current trend is bullish, right? And this is what is currently happening right now. From the left-hand side, you're not able to identify anything that's happening right now. But from this current trend, we're able to see that our price is bullish and price is currently respecting, this, right? So now, why do I say it's respecting this? Because of what price not take out what this structural low, right? For this to be invalidated, price has to take out this low. But price didn't take out this low. Price still gave me what another confirmation by creating an SBI on the 1 hour time frame, right? It's just about establishing ranges, right? Then still on this, look at this. This is a sweep here, right? Look at this, right? Sweep of this low, break of market structure. Price gave me what a structural liquidity entry for a buy. Okay, price has come back to take out the structure. Remember, I said price doesn't need to tap your PY. Once it takes out your C, it's going to start moving, right? So I'm anticipating our price to come out here, back to sweep out this high. Okay, price to come back and sweep out this high. Okay, then still on the lower time frame, you want to look for your entries, right? Which can be your buy SBI, whatever, right? So that's what's going to happen. Okay, So yeah, this is basically what I'm seeing on V50S. Okay. But I said, let price tell a story. I didn't just come into the chat and just draw any random thing, right? Price has to what? Tell you a story. Okay? Price has to tell you a story. In analysis of what? Your A plus, B plus, they all have to align. Something has to be there to actually give you you can't just trade anyhow. Okay? It has to obviously tell you a story. Okay? Can you guys hear me clearly? Can you guys hear me clearly?
Yes.
Yes, yes,
Okay, yes.
yes,
So
yes.
yes, it has to always tell a story, okay? Okay, it has to always tell a story. Now, let's go down. We have about 2 minutes left, okay? So this record is going to be sent right after, okay? So please, everyone should try their best to please go to the chat, all right? Remember I said perfection. The only way you get perfection is by, doing the same thing every single day over and over. Like now, I still take my time to come to the chat. Um, I still take my time to come to the chat and practice to back test every single day. Okay, every single day. Doesn't matter if doesn't matter. Okay. Um, what is happening? I don't know. I think the network is kind of down. So yeah, that's basically it. Okay, that's basically this thing, right? I just take my time every single day. If you get that level where you can practice, right? You can practice and get the skill, right? You can practice and get to that level, right? It's just basically practice, right? Because when I started trading, I was not at this level. Okay, it was quite difficult. Okay, it was quite difficult. Now I don't know what is wrong with this network, but it's having some issues. Okay, so now any question before we end this session? Yeah, I don't know. The network is having an issue. It's having a little issue right now. I have about a minute left. You have about a minute left.
Not really a question, more like a request.
Okay.
Please, can we be having sessions twice a week at least?
Yes. So I was actually working on something. That's why I've been busy. Okay. I've been moving from place to place. I didn't really want to actually come to that, but I've actually been very busy right now. I'm almost doing what I'm doing, but I'll do my best, right? Obviously, we're meant to be having sessions every. Well, obviously, I'll try my
All
best to
right.
make sure that we start having sessions occasionally. Okay. It's just because of
Thank you.
I have some stuff going on behind the scenes, right? A lot of stuff, right? So please, I want everyone to understand. But I'll try my best, right, to make sure that we have sessions occasionally, okay? Because mostly I'm mostly always free on Saturday, right? Because during the week I'm not really around like that. But I'll try my best to make sure that we have sessions occasionally, okay? But please, any questions, and also please, anyone that sends me a question or I don't reply, please make sure to tag me in my message, okay? Because my message is usually full. Okay, so please try your best to actually tag me so I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Okay, hope you guys have a nice Sunday. Okay, so I'm going to send this session right after. Okay, all right, everyone should have a good day. Thank you.